Your parents raised you, fed you, put a roof over your head, and they deserve to be cared for with dignity when the time comes. But without a plan in place, that care could cost you $100,000 or more before it's over. I'm Greg DuPont. I'm an estate planning attorney, a certified financial planner, and the founder of DuPont Law Group. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how a parent's long-term care crisis becomes the adult child's financial crisis, what the numbers actually look like, and the specific moves that stop the bleeding before it starts. I'm going to start with something I've watched happen over and over in my practice. The spouse dies. Surviving spouse starts needing help at home. Adult children step in, paying for groceries, covering utilities, maybe moving a parent in with them. And it starts small, manageable, and you think you're just helping out. Then a fall happens, or a diagnosis, and suddenly you are the default long-term care plan. According to a LendingTree study, roughly 1 in 4 Americans are already financially supporting a parent or in-law right now, and 23% expect to be in that position. The expenses people report covering are not small. Groceries, personal cost, housing, utilities, medical bills. And when families were asked what that support cost them personally, 58% said they took on debt to do it. And 53% of those took on $5,000 or more. 13% took on $25,000 or more. And here's the one statistic that really matters. 74% of adults who are financially supporting an aging parent say is actively blocking their own goals. Things like paying off debt, building their emergency fund, or saving for retirement. The financial services industry doesn't talk about this enough because the industry is built in silos. Your financial planner doesn't talk to your parents' estate planning attorney. Nobody's coordinating. So the risk just sits there, invisible, until the crisis arises. That's the broken model. And it's why families keep getting blindsided. Let me give you a concrete look at what we're talking about in actual dollars. The 2025 national median costs for long-term care were roughly $74,400 per year for assisted living and $129,575 per year for a private nursing home room. And according to AARP, home care costs rose 7.9% from May 2025 to May 2026 alone. So these numbers are moving up, not down. Now let's apply that to a real hypothetical family. Picture a couple I'll call Tom and Carol. Tom is 72, Carol is 70. They live in Columbus, Ohio. They have about $340,000 between their savings account and an IRA. They own their home, and they have no long-term care insurance. Tom has a mild cognitive decline that the family has been watching for about 2 years. Tom's care burns through $74,400 annually. If Tom transitions to memory care, the bill accelerates. And who makes up that difference when the savings is gone? Their daughter, Jennifer, who is 47, has 2 kids in high school. Has $180,000 in her own 401k that she spent 15 years building. She starts pulling back on contributions. And then she starts pulling cash out. Within 4 years, Jennifer's retirement security is compromised. Not because she made bad decisions, but because her parents didn't build a plan. The Department of Health and Human Services estimates that 70% of adults who reach age 65 will develop a severe long-term care need at some point. 70%. Is this a situation you're in right now or heading towards? Tell me in the comments. So what does the corrective model look like? In my practice, we help clients through a 4D estate plan. Determine, document, defend, deliver. We first determine the full picture of the situation. What does your parents' health trajectory look like? What assets do they have? What insurance, if any? What are the gaps? Finding out the truth of their situation is a starting point. Next, we document the legal infrastructure that actually gives someone authority to act. A durable financial power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, a HIPAA authorization so the agent can actually access the medical records that long-term care insurers require to trigger benefits. Without these documents, even a willing adult child may be powerless to manage accounts, pay care bills, or file insurance claims when a parent is incapacitated. Next, we defend the assets using the right funding structure. Traditional long-term care insurance, bought at age 55 to 60, typically runs $950 to $2,200 per year for male, $1,500 to $3,700 per year for female. Wait until 65 and those premiums climb 25% to 80% or higher. Hybrid life insurance policies that include long-term care riders are another option. They guarantee premiums and preserve a death benefit if care is ever needed. And for families with sufficient assets, a dedicated self-funding bucket with a clear spending framework can work, but only if the math has been run correctly. And finally, we deliver a comprehensive plan. Beneficiary designations are reviewed and aligned. Will and trust documents are aligned with the care and asset plan so that what your parents spent a lifetime building actually passes to the people they intended, not into a probate court or nursing facility's billing department. Going back to the beginning of this video, the adult child's financial risk is real, it's measurable, and it's almost entirely preventable with the right conversation and the right structure in place. You know, people say to me all the time, Greg, my parents don't want to talk about this. And I get that. No one wakes up excited to discuss incapacity. But the cost of that avoidance is enormous, not just in dollars, though as you've seen, these numbers are staggering, but in stress and family conflict and retirement accounts drained. If your parents are in their early 60s and healthy, you are in the ideal window to build a plan proactively. If they're in their 70s or 80, well, that window is closing. But you can still put legal documents in place, still explore hybrid coverage, still build a coordination structure that limits exposure so the family retains control. The worst position you can be in is doing nothing and inheriting a crisis. The traditional model says get a financial planner, get an estate attorney, deal with the pieces separately. That is exactly the fragmentation that leaves many families exposed. What works is coordinated planning that looks at the legal, the tax, the insurance, and the estate all at once and designs them to work together. Your parents' long-term care is not a problem that stays in their lane. The data is clear that it flows directly into yours, into your savings, your retirement timeline, and your family's financial stability. That doesn't have to happen even if you're happy to help out. The 4D estate plan, with the legal documents in place, the funding structure design, and the coordination between your parents' plan and yours is what breaks the cycle. If you're looking for independent guidance and analysis on how to protect your family from this risk, we welcome the opportunity to meet with you and to be of service. Go to the link in the description to download our free guide, Aging with Confidence, or contact us directly at 614-408-0529. Take care.